Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Market Outlook series with me, Kavita Agrawal. Now, this week onwards, there's been a slight change in my format. Earlier, I used to do lives every Friday, 5 p.m., but since I have moved and I am going through a phase where I'm working on something which takes up most of my time, unfortunately, live sessions are not something that we're going to do. I will be recording and uploading the Let's Get Technical series and the Market Outlook series for you on my YouTube channel and all other social media platforms. So be sure to wait for the same and watch this market outlook to get a whole sense of what Nifty, Bank Nifty, and other sectoral indices have been doing. We'll also look at the individual sector indices as well as their comparisons. Now, what about the Q&A sessions? The live Q&A sessions where I used to respond to your stock analysis request. First of all, what I realized was a lot of people were asking for vague stocks without having really any interest in the educational aspect of what the analysis. So we are going to correct that. Now, if you want to ask stock request or if you want me to look at stocks for you, you have to visit this link at the top of my head, expinvest.in/stock request or expinvest.in/stock analysis, and you need to submit your request. So the next time when I record the video, I am going to do the analysis for you in that video. And the link along with the timestamp will be sent to you by my team on WhatsApp. So here's what you have to do. Visit this link that's mentioned on top, fill up the form, mention the stock, the cost, and what you're looking for in the analysis. And a video of that will be sent to you in 2, not more than 3 days after your request is submitted. So look, let's get started with the chart of Nifty. So we've got a Nifty here, and we will start with the 3-minute time frame of Nifty. So what do we see here in the 3-minute time frame? You're first seeing the price chart, then you're seeing the RSI here, RSI 25 period. And in this section, what is very evident is that Nifty was initially respecting the level of 30 or level of 40 really well. And now something has changed. The level of 40 has been reached, level of 30 has been touched, even though on the upper side of RSI, I can see that level of 70 is still getting reached, or the level of 60 is still getting reached. What does this mean? Nifty, there is something has changed in the momentum of Nifty. What is that change? It is not outright bullish the way it was up to this point, that is 18th of September. The momentum is now, it's got one foot on both sides, bearish as well as bullish. That is why the RSI is now moving into both ranges, the bear as well as the bull range. This actually signifies very high volatility in the market, and we've experienced that in reality. If you look at the price activity here, I have written some numbers. What do these numbers mean? These numbers are the Fibonacci retracement within this final trend that we have seen. So ignore this Elliott Wave count for now. Just look at these numbers, right? So if I draw the Fibonacci again for you, what you can see is that the day we saw the 50 basis point rate cut, market opened with a gap down, but retraced how much? Around 61.8%. I've just rounded that off to 62. Then it again rallied, and then it again corrected around how much? 78.6%, which I have rounded off to 79, right? And then it again went to forge a lifetime high. Now, when the market is reacting in this way, it means, first of all, of course, very high volatility in the market. Second, this can be the sign of the end of a bull trend. We are looking at the 3-minute time frame, so I wouldn't be very optimistic of a major correction here, but I do expect this rally to get completely retraced. Right? So that's based on the 3-minute time frame analysis. And if we zoom out further, you can see my Elliott wave count of this wave which is unfolded of September. And why have I counted it from the 6th of September onwards? Because there was a massive positive divergence, very clear cut, very textbooky positive divergence, the 20 EMA of the daily time frame, this blue line. So if you look at the setting, this is actually the 20 EMA of the daily time frame. This should be EMA. So we saw positive divergence on the 3-minute time frame RSI, and we've seen a very clear cut 5-wave impulse since then. And the 5th wave typically is very volatile. If you go through the Elliott wave count, you learn that the 5th wave is typically very volatile. That's exactly what we've seen here. So it meets all our criteria. And if you're beating yourself up about why you do not participate in this wave or why you do not have long positions, don't worry, the market is going to give you an opportunity. Now let's move on one time frame higher to the 15-minute time frame. What do we see on the 15-minute time frame here? Again, on the 15-minute time frame, RSI, notice this negative divergence that has started to build. Why is this important? Because if you look at all the previous peaks of Nifty, a negative divergence followed by a potential high and resistance at this trend line was seen before the correction unfolded. 3-4% of correction is what we are looking at. Here again, we saw a nice little rally, a negative divergence got forged, a peak got again forged, and then market went into correction. This tiny little peak that Nifty gives after forming the negative divergence, this is actually a bull trap. This is a bull trap. यहाँ पर ये एक negative divergence create कर फिर एक jump देता है. What it does is those who have seen this negative divergence and created bearish positions triggers their stop losses and encourages people to re-enter thinking negative divergence got invalidated, but then goes into correction, taking more stop losses into its correction आया, but फिर again we are going to see correction. Now let's go to the 75-minute time frame and get a broader picture. What does a broader picture show us? The broader picture shows us कि the trend line that we have drawn, this trend line resistance has been reached. Initially, my target on Nifty was 25,850, which has been achieved. I think that in the next few days, we might see a little bit of crawling activity up to the level of 26,000. Why is that important? Now, 26,000 is a very important psychological resistance level. So we might see some crawling activity. जैसे यहाँ आप देख रहे हो, यहाँ पे Nifty just crawled along the trend line. इसके पहले भी if you see यहाँ पर भी Nifty just crawled along the trend line before it went into correction. तो यहाँ पर भी we can see some crawling activity. 26,000 तक टच कर सकते हैं. उसके बाद I am expecting, taking a look at the daily time frame now. The daily time frame is actually very strong. Even though यहाँ पे थोड़ा negative divergence बता, I think the daily time frame is pretty strong, and I am not expecting a very deep correction. So going back to the 75-minute time frame, this blue line is going to act as important support for us. This blue line is what? It is the 20 EMA of the daily time frame. DEMA 20 EMA of the daily time frame. I think correction आ सकता है. What is the level? Around 25,150 is where I expect Nifty to give us very good opportunities. Enter the market again. Or if we measure this last bull trend with Fibonacci, basically this is around 62% of this entire wave. Correct? That is what I am expecting. वैसे this correction is expected to be the correction of this entire wave that started over here. हिसाब से भी around 4 to 38% correction is what I'm expecting. Why am I expecting a shallow correction of this entire broad wave? Because the underlying momentum of the market continues to be pretty strong. Daily time frame, if you notice, I believe that a new rally had started out of this point, right? यहाँ से जो नई रैली हमारी स्टार्ट हुई है, बेसिकली दिस वाज द फर्स्ट लेग ऑफ द करेक्शन. सो यहाँ से जो नई रैली स्टार्ट हुई है, आई थिंक दिस वाज वन वेव, दिस इज another wave, and इसमें अभी बहुत देगी, which is going to serve as a very good opportunity for fresh entries for us, right? So this was Nifty analysis. Now let's move on with other sectoral indices. So what I'll do is open my indices watch list, and we'll start with Bank Nifty ka on the daily time frame is to the bull range of the RSI really well, indicating underlying trend strong. So this was my expectation कि ये basically 75-minute time frame, if you see, यहाँ bull range नहीं, bullish momentum नहीं दे रहा था. Since this high got broken out of, Bank Nifty has become quite bullish. 15-minute time frame is also looking quite bullish actually. तो यहाँ पर activity काफी अच्छी है, and let's draw another trend line. So this looks like a pretty appropriate trend line. So Nifty par bhi, based on these points that I have, it looks like a pretty accurate trend line. And now we are seeing very little upside left. So what we should expect in Bank Nifty. Now obviously trend line hai, that doesn't mean ki the trend line cannot be broken or we can't go higher. Of course we can forge a whole new trajectory above this trend line. That is something that is possible and bullish का. But 75-minute time frame पर भी अगर if I draw this horizontal line, इस level तक आता है around I would say 76 के आस, ये correction देता है. ये रहा और ये रहा और ये रहा. इसके बाद करेक्शन रफली अपने 4-5% की करेक्शन अपने एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं यहाँ से. करेक्ट? 4-5 मे बी 6%. तो माई एक्सपेक्टेशन इज अगेन ये ट्रेंड लाइन इज गोइंग टू गेट टेस्टेड एंड देन वी आर गोना सी करेक्शन. तो अगर यहाँ से 4-5% ये पहला जो ट्रेंड लाइन है अराउंड 52,300, लेट्स ड्रॉ अ लाइन टू मार्क दैट. को हम राउंड ऑफ करेंगे. चलो 52,200 हमने ड्रॉ किया है. फर्स्ट सपोर्ट एंड सेकंड सपोर्ट इस रेजिस्टेंस से कहां तक आएगा. अगर 6% तक का करेक्शन भी आता है तो I would say यहाँ पर we can expect some support to come in. Basically ये 100 EMA को I am expecting to come up. So what is this level roughly? 51,000. Again a very nice rounded psychological level is where we are expecting support. तो 52,200 से 51,000 के बीच में we can expect Bank Nifty to take support. और यहाँ पर देखा internal trend line पास हो. So this is basically this. Fresh positions बैंक निफ्टी recommend करूँ. Banking stocks में मैं ही recommend करूँ. Let's move to the next. What is our next sector? CNX Auto. इस ऑटो हमें क्या बता रहे हैं. डेली टाइम फ्रेम का आरब देखेंगे. बहुत bullish, very bullish. In fact, it has just taken a little bit of dip, given very good support and started to turn higher. I am personally very bullish on the auto sector, and I think we are going to see a very new leg of start in the auto sector from this point onwards. So very bullish. All time frames, daily 75, even 15 minutes. See, 15 minute तो has clearly gone back to what I call the bull range. यहाँ पे इसने जबरदस्त positive divergence दी है, and it has again moved back to the bull range, and I think it can continue going into that. So let's move on to the next sector, commodities. Nothing special. I do not like the way 75-minute looks. I don't even like the way commodity sector moves. It's just too noisy. I don't like this sector. Daily time frame पे भी देखी तो momentum exhaustion के काफी signs है, so not interested in the sector at all. यहाँ पर काफी negative divergence दे रहा था, and it has however continued to move on. See, टेक्निकल एनालिसिस में कैसा होता है, जरूरी नहीं है कि everything is always easy to conclude on the basis of analysis. तो consumption sector थोड़ा out of bounds लगता है. It doesn't really give me a very good reading based on the skill sets that I have, so I don't like to force it. But commodity sector, consumption sector में तो I will take it when my alert of this thing gets triggered कि the consumption sector in a time frame has touched the level of 40. तो how often does this happen? ये महीने में एक बार या 1.5 महीने में एक बार टाइप अलर्ट दे देता है. कंजम्पशन सेक्टर व्हेन इट corrects, it takes very sharp corrections, fast, sharp and fast corrections, and then rally dene mein bahut. That is something that I don't like about the sector. When it goes up, it's a slow mover. When it comes down, it's a fast mover. So I don't like that. But agar मैं participate करना, I won't buy more than 10-20% of my total portfolio here because I like to be a little bit more aggressive. And I will look for fresh entries when it comes close to either the 20 EMA or the 40 level. So let's go ahead and set an alert for that. So what we'll do is extended line जो हमने draw करी है उसके ऊपर ही जाकर right click and set an alert. So this is the message. Now the reason why I like to use this message is recently I have set up an automation or a webhook. So basically whatever alerts will get triggered in the entire day will automatically move into my Google Sheet. So what stocks have I assessed in a day? Log created rahega. I will create a video on how to do that. It's very interesting. I think you guys will find it pretty useful. I did it using Pabbly. Pabbly ka subscription. I will make a video for the next Let's Get Technical series. So stay tuned for that video. All right. So this I have set. Now let me create this. So basically क्या होगा, alert name मैं set कर देती हूँ कि consider making positions in this sector. ठीक है. अब मुझे इसको याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. और एक ऑन द 20 EMA. नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट सेक्टर. अभी कंजम्पशन सेक्टर में कुछ करने लायक मुझे नहीं दिख रहा. दिस हैज ऑलरेडी रन अप क्वाइट अ बिट एंड आई डोंट वांट टू प्ले इन दिस राइट नाउ. सो एनर्जी सेक्टर. व्हाट इज एनर्जी सेक्टर टेलिंग अस? तो एनर्जी सेक्टर में काफी मोमेंटम थी. द प्रॉब्लम विद sectors being noisy is कि stocks भी बहुत volatile movement. That being said, I think यहाँ पर ना अच्छी positive divergence देख. Sector is looking bullish. Rally expect कर सकते हैं. So I will be on the lookout for stocks in the energy sector if they come up on my radar to make fresh positions क्योंकि दिख रहा है sector ऊपर. Next, finance. So finance has been a bit of a curve ball, but इसने भी काफी पॉजिटिव डाइवर्जेंस दी थी एंड इस नेगेटिव रेंज है एंड ये पॉजिटिव डाइवर्जेंस देने के बाद ये पॉजिटिव रेंज काफी आ गई है इसमें, बट द क्वेश्चन इज कैसे पता लगा है। चलो ट्रेंड लाइन ड्रॉ करते हैं सबसे पहले। आई वांट टू कनेक्ट दीज पीक्स, इसको थोड़ा और प्रिसिशन देंगे हम। Very subjective. Some people prefer to take more recent points to draw the trend lines. I prefer to take historical points because when I'm drawing the trend line, I am actually trying to find the trajectory that the stock is following. And a resistance finance sector may दिख around 5% ऊपर तक and are but थोड़ा overheated also. Finance bullish, not outright. जैसे auto बहुत MCG consumption की तरह, it looks like a bit of a missed train. Negative divergence already are positive range shift तो है and then फिर एक positive divergence भी इसमें and तब pretty much bull range में ही with the exception of this very volatile day जब pretty much सारे market की band and यहाँ भी increase हुई थी, which makes sense, right? Because correction at but we support काफी अच्छा maintain कर रही time frame पर around the level of 48, which is good की तरफ momentum थोड़ा weak। एक्चुअली इस सारे ड्राइंग्स को एक बार रिमूव। डेली पर काफी जबरदस्त इंफ्रा सेक्टर में नेगेटिव डाइवर्जेंस है और पिछले व्हाट आई कैन सी इज नेगेटिव डाइवर्ट करेक्शन भी है। इंफ्रा सेक्टर जो है ऑलरेडी बहुत नेगेटिव डाइवर्जेंस करेक्शन दे फ्रेश पोजीशंस बनाना, तो वीकली टाइम फ्रेम पर भी नेगेटिव डाइवर्जेंस है। नेगेटिव डाइवर्जेंस का क्या मतलब होता है कि मोमेंटम कमजोर हो रहा है, थोड़ा केयरफुल रहने की बात है। चलिए इसके इंफ्रा सेक्टर से हम थोड़ा बचकर रहना चाहेंगे एंड अब हम देख रहे हैं आईटी सेक्टर को। तो आईटी सेक्टर पे तो वी वर वेरी बुलिश। कई बार मैंने बोला था कि अपॉर्चुनिटी बहुत अच्छी है। आईटी सेक्टर आप देखेंगे तो पिछले 3 महीने में 40% भाग चुका है। हमने ट्रेड टुगेदर प्रोग्राम में काफी ट्रेडिंग भी की है आईटी सेक्टर में एंड काफी पैसे भी बनाए हैं। अब क्या हो रहा है, अब तो पर weekly तो बहुत basically means that we have no reason to expect कि this rally is going to cool down and अगर मैं एकदम steep का past trajectory right rallies for sure already और upside इसमें definitely बाकी है, but what you also need to know is कि I would say a rally start हुई which got corrected around 24 to 38%. And then यहाँ next rally start हुई है, reach करते it continues to give rally. IT sector I think has really strong momentum going for itself and I definitely expect the rally to continue. Bullish में IT sector में हमें stock specific opportunities दिखी तो we will be keen to participate in them. Somebody might say कि negative divergence है, but मैं इसको negative divergence नहीं हूँ क्योंकि RSI right side का peak है is way above the level of 60. So in my opinion nothing to be concerned about yet. But for making positions, we're going to play very stock specific. So upside though, I am definitely expecting more upside here. 3-minute का chart हो, so consolidation short term में basically I हो सकता है base form करने में time ले और so daily weekly अपना काफी strong लग रहा है. Means for the next 3 months, 2-3 months, IT sector is pretty safe to play. 15-minute looking week means next 1-2 weeks, not so much. Media sector and see I am still interested in the IT sector because I am not a 1-2 week trader. I am a 3-4 month. Media sector bull range, bear range, mixed momentum, undecided, chart noisy. If you want to make positions for very short term, I think I want to stay away from media sector. Charts are not looking very clear bullish. Metals look very interesting. Daily time frame पे आप देखेंगे तो RSI is maintaining a beautiful bull range and अभी 40 के level से ले higher high forge कर, which means कि स्टार्ट होना बहुत लाइकली है। कंफर्मेशन आएगा जब प्राइस भी हायर हाई 75 मिनट पे देखे तो टेक्स्ट बुक पॉजिटिव डाइवर्जेंस आ यहाँ तक बेयर रेंज खत्म, रेंज स्टार्ट हो एंड आई थिंक मेटल सेक्टर इज आल्सो वेरी बुलिश। तो मेटल एंड ऑटो सेक्टर दोनों पे हम exceptionally bullish IT, but if I have to keep it in the order of bullishness, then this is what I will go with. Moving on, Pharma is the next one. 75-minute time frame, but if divergence for consolidation में चल, it becomes a lot more riskier to trade in this zone. तो and 21,790 तक correction Pharma में expect. Daily time frame 75-minute time frame दोनों ने range को violate कर, so you need to be very careful and वीकली टाइम फ्रेम भी काफी नेगेटिव डाइवर्जेंस दे रहा है, तो यहाँ पे अच्छी खासी करेक्शन आ सकती है। इज नॉट समथिंग वेरी न्यू और एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी बिकॉज ऑफ हिस्टोरिकली इफ यू सी पीएसई सेक्टर इज वेरी साइक्लिकल इन नेचर। तो पीएसई सेक्टर में हमेशा रिटेल ट्रेडर्स फंसते हैं व्हेन मार्केट कम्स इनटू द स्टेज ऑफ यूफोरिया। एंड अभी का जो हमने निफ्टी के चार्ट में देखा यूफोरिया वाला ही स्टेज। पीएसयू बैंक्स में बैंक और बैंक निफ्टी बैंक निफ्टी इज क्रिएटिंग अ न्यू लाइफ टाइम हाई। और आप पीएसयू बैंक्स का इंडेक्स देखेंगे तो इट इज 17% away from the peak, right? So this is a divergence between two major indices of very similar sectors. यहाँ पर again if you see the bull range is getting violated, देना चाहिए इसको। तो यहाँ पर मैं क्या करूंगी, एक बैंकिंग सेक्टर 75 मिनट टाइम फ्रेम इज ऑल्सो नॉट लुकिंग गुड। 30 ब्रीच हो गया है, मतलब कि एक रीटेस्ट तो आएगा ही वापस यहाँ पर। काफी हाई चांसेस है बेसिकली। तो थोड़ी और कमजोर रियलिटी में 2 हफ्ते पहले जब मार्केट आउटलुक सीरीज करा था तो उसमें मैंने कहा था काफी बुलिश लग रहा है। क्यों? क्योंकि अगर आप देखोगे तो यहाँ पर डेली टाइम फ्रेम is telling us that the bull range is still solid and dot 40 पर आकर इसने टर्न अराउंड हमको दिया। नया लो भी नहीं फॉर्ज किया और इसका जो रियल हाई था, पहला वाला रियल हाई, अच्छा इस इन ड्राइंग अगेन ट्रेंड लाइन ड्राइंग इज वेरी सब्जेक्टिव, देयर इज नो एग्जैक्ट साइंस, इट्स डू योर ओन थिंग। सो यहाँ पर डेफिनेटली रेजिस्टेंस है बट दैट्स ओके, आई एम नॉट वरिड अबाउट इट। मोमेंटम वाइज अगर यहाँ पर रियल पीक फॉर्ज हुई almost sector almost this is like a very new trend, right? And historically if you see in this sector जो turn around आता है, turn around के बाद it also gives a pullback which is a very good entry opportunity, so wait for this pullback to come. So I think 20 EMA it should test again, so let's set our alert for CNX reality, right? तो ये 20 EMA तक आएगा ना, give us a good indication. We don't need to really worry. Let's catch a missing train. वापस स्टेशन पे आना, we will make fresh entries. तो reality is looking very good. So let's go ahead and reality को भी bullish sector list में include. And with that we are done with the sectoral analysis. Let's move on to the next section, which is our stock analysis request. And we've got some requests submitted by members initially. So this is the website that you need to visit to submit your stock requests. So you'll simply open this link and you will fill up this form, fill up your name, email, phone number so that my team can send you the link once you've done. Your ticker name, cost price, and if you have a message, include that. Make your payment, submit the request, then the next video that I make, I will do and you'll get the detailed analysis from me. I also post notifications about when I am going to be doing the videos on my Telegram channel. So you can join my Telegram channel if you want to connect with me, if you want to come across offers on my services like the portfolio cleanup, like the trade together program for short-term recommendation, or the long-term plan for long-term stocks. Just last week, one of my long-term stocks went 2x, so crossed more than 200% in profits. Or if you want to connect with me for one-on-one consultation, all of those things, this is one source to do that. Of course, one is my website. But if you want to be connected with me on an ongoing basis, be part of my community, or know my comments on the market after every trading session, then this channel is perfect for you. I am going to link this in the description below. It's called Trade with Kavita. Now, if you're on Telegram, you can simply go and search Trade with Kavita. But let me warn you, पहले 4 हुआ करते थे, एक ने लगता दया करके डिलीट कर दिया है, ग्रेट, बट अभी भी काफी फेक चैनल्स है, तो मेक श्योर यू आर जॉइनिंग द करेक्ट चैनल. थोड़ा आप देख, see quizzes, you will see locked messages, you will see analyst comments, you will see a lot of messages from me, so that is how you will know this is the correct channel. Moving on, let's get started with the next section, that is answering your stock analysis requests. So we have helped more than 500 people with their stock analysis. So if you also want to be helped, then make sure to fill up the form. So we have 3 requests today. One is AIAENG and then Coal India. So AIA has been submitted by Sahil Thakkar. So for Sahil, let's take a look at AI. 260 is the cost price that you have mentioned. 4260 का underlying trend काफी clearly positive range में, मतलब 40 के levels. And then currently the stock is in correction after giving a massive 40% or 38% rally in a matter of just 2.5 months. और ये 50% correction की fresh position, I am guessing you want to make a fresh position here. CMP ही submit किया. So you want to essentially stay on the side of the momentum. तो यहाँ पर एक हायर हाई आ जाए, स्टॉक को सस्टेन करने दो 20 डेम एंड 44.23 के ऊपर, then you make a fresh position for the next leg of. Once you do that, so if the stock crosses above 4400, then your stop loss would be the most recent low. So in case यहाँ 4400 के ऊपर जाता है, your stop loss would be around the level of 4200 until the next resistance is crossed. So that's AIAENG for you. Next stock that we are looking at is CDSL for Sham. Your cost price here is 1000. ठीक है, तो you are in pretty good profits on the stock and the underlying trend on the stock is also very strong. डेली टाइम फ्रेम पे एक बार असेस कर लेते हैं. डेली टाइम फ्रेम पे भी दिस लुक्स गुड एंड योर एंट्री आल्सो हैज बीन आफ्टर द कंफर्मेशन ऑफ अ हाई एंड ऑन पुल बैक व्हिच लुक्स प्रीटी नाइस टू मी. ट्रेंड अभी भी काफी सॉलिड है, तो बिल्कुल वी शुड कंटिन्यू टू होल्ड फॉर श्योर. आई एक्सपेक्ट दिस टू कंटिन्यू हेडिंग हायर एंड रेजिस्टेंस मेरे हिसाब से, sorry, let's turn that back to logarithmic. I think this trend line would act as a pretty good resistance for the stock or a potential target. So this is around the level of 1993. Another thing that I want to plot is the Fibonacci extensions. So this was a high and so this peak was exactly around 2.618x. So this again I will plot the same from this high to this high here and then at least 1.618x का तो expect कर ही सकते हैं rally. So यहाँ पे we'll keep the target a little conservative and look out for the level of 1880 rupees. Basically, we are expecting this looks pretty good. Ab question is key, what should be your stop loss from here? Since this low has been forged, but higher high has not been forged, so isko we can't really take as support. And kaisa hai ki stock ko we need to give it room for breathing, because if you see here, it forged a high, but then it gave some consolidation before establishing the next leg of rally. So ye jo breathing space hai, this needs to be given to the stock. So your stop loss essentially here cannot be higher than this level of 1256 is your stop loss. If you see at this point, CDSL is not attractive for fresh entry because the risk reward ratio is not good. Once this resistance of 1671, that is this peak, gets forged or that gets crossed, then you can revise your stop loss higher to around the level of easily 1440. But until that happens, 1256 and 1880 are the levels that you're going to look out for. Next, we look at Coal India for Danish, and your cost price you've mentioned is 5040, which was probably before the split or something. I don't know. 5040 makes no sense. You probably meant 504 because that's pretty close to the CMPs, and you've just said give knowledge about the stock. So again, I'm guessing that now 75-minute chart is giving a very textbooky positive divergence. Plus, if you look here, the stock has come back to test the support level. Daily time frame is also very close to the range support zone, which looks quite good, very attractive. Underlying trend is definitely strong. I think this looks like so if the stock breaches this low and this trend line at the same time, so this double support, then we don't want to maintain position anymore. So 400 becomes a probable stop loss, and the stock is already established or very close to establishing a higher high. Technically, 506 is where we are looking at the higher high, in which case we can also revise our stop loss higher. But I think for fresh position, it looks pretty good even at the current market price. So stop loss is around 3.3, and I would expect the target to be around this trend line, which is 15% upside. So as of today, the stock is looking quite attractive from a risk reward perspective. So with that, we come to the end of today's Market Outlook series. If you enjoyed this session, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a comment and do join my Telegram channel if you want to connect with me. I am Kavita Agrawal, a SEBI registered research analyst, bringing to you various stock advisory services, whole suite of services in the equity segment of the market. We don't indulge in any kind of options or futures or any leverage or margin trading. We want to play it very safe, keep risk management, capital allocation as top priorities. And we really believe that in the market, if you can keep your losses under control, profits to apne aap. Chaliye, with that, I'll take your leave. I will see you in the next video, which will be part of the Let's Get Technical series, where I'll bring to you one topic which can help you become a better trader yourself. I'll sign off now. Thank you so much for joining in. Namaste.